What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Good news shaping up. Nothing's definitive, nothing's set in stone, but it is a sign of things to come. Miguel Cotto, the other day, he met up with Golden Boy. He was in the Golden Boy building, and they were talking business. So it appears that they offered him over $10 million to have Saul Canelo Alvarez as his next opponent. They're trying to sway him from going up in weight to fight Sergio Martinez, another fight that Top Rank is talking about making. Um, I got to get some clarification as far as Cotto and his affiliation with Top Rank because I heard both. I heard he was still a free agent, but he was working with Top Rank. Then I heard he actually wanted to finish his career with Top Rank. So as it sits, I really don't know what's up with his contract. If he has like a verbal agreement or if he's actually contracted on paper to the point where they could sue him, I have no idea. So I don't know if they're trying to make a Top Rank versus Golden Boy fight. I am uncertain and I need clarification on that. So I'll try to get some research in regarding Miguel Cotto's actual contractual obligation. I thought it was with Top Rank last I heard, but I could be wrong. Maybe it was just a partnership and he's willing to work kind of like a Zab Judah. Um, so anyway, Golden Boy is trying to sway him from moving up in weight to 160 to fight Sergio Martinez. They're saying that there's more money. We're offering you over $10 million to fight Canelo. Anytime you have a Mexico versus Puerto Rico fight, it's always good. Both parties celebrate and definitely come out and tune in to support their fighters, which is great. Mexican and Puerto Rican fans have been great for the sport of boxing, and they're trying to sway him. They're trying to say, hey, even if you lose to Canelo or if you beat him, the Sergio Martinez is still a potential. However, if you fight Sergio Martinez and lose to Sergio Martinez, we're not going to offer you the same amount of money that we were to offer you coming off of the Delvin Rodriguez win. So it's really on Cotto. I heard Cotto's team wants to make a decision by the end of the year as to who he's going to be fighting in 2014. They released some 3 dates that Canelo wants to fight on. The first one was in March. Um, I don't know that they would make the Cotto fight in March or if they're going to do it for Canelo's second day. Everything's really still up in the air. I want to know from you, the viewer, what fight do you want to see more? Would you rather have Cotto move up to 160 to fight Sergio Martinez, or would you rather have him stay at 154, which he just fought at? Delvin Rodriguez fight was at 154, and fight Canelo, who's coming off a tough loss to Floyd Mayweather. Experience played a factor. Canelo tried, but it just wasn't enough for the wizardry of a Mayweather. Me personally, I like both fights a lot. I like Sergio Martinez. I respect him. Obviously, I like Cotto as well. And Canelo has shown me what I've been asking for. The biggest thing with Canelo, I never had a problem with Canelo. I just wanted to see his competition evolve and elevate. And not just fight the Matthew Hattons and the Josecito Lopez, people who are clearly smaller than him and had to move up in weight and that kind of thing. And he's done that. He's fought Austin Trout, an undefeated fighter, gave Austin Trout his first L, and he hurt Austin Trout in one of the mid rounds. So that was a good test. And just him being in the ring with Mayweather, he tried. His game plan wasn't successful. But again, this is the number one pound for pound, and actually pay per view champ, Floyd Mayweather. So a loss to him is not the end of the world. Fighters can bounce back. We still haven't seen Robert Guerrero, but I think Robert Guerrero can still make some noise at welterweight. And I think Canelo, not everyone's going to be able to do and duplicate what Mayweather did. So I like both fights, but if I absolutely had to choose, I would say Canelo Alvarez versus Saul, or that makes no sense. Canelo versus Canelo. No, if I had to choose at the moment, Cotto versus Martinez or Cotto versus Canelo, I would pick Cotto versus Canelo. And the reason being, even though Canelo is big, he still is fighting at 154 versus Sergio Martinez is fighting at 160. So I don't think Cotto is that big of a dude. Definitely to like clean out the 160-pound division, or I don't know. I just don't see him beating a guy like Gennady Golovkin. Not that he's not a good boxer or he's not a veteran, but those guys are bigger than him. Sergio Martinez isn't the biggest middleweight, but I just don't see it being a good fit for Cotto size wise, actual stature, reach, size, this point of his career. I just don't see the higher division being better. He hasn't even really looked spectacular at 154, barring the fight with Foreman maybe or a fight with Delvin Rodriguez. But against Mayweather, against Austin Trout, he didn't look stellar. Against Mayweather, he tried, he shined, he had some moments, but again, that's another fighter who's not a true 154 pounder either. So as Cotto goes up and gets older, I just don't see him being as effective. I could be wrong because I've never seen him fight at 160. That would be a new venture. Maybe it's more comfortable for him to make 160 than it is to drop down to 154. I don't know. But from what I've seen, I think the Canelo and Cotto fight sounds more appetizing. Canelo off of a loss, still young, big, powerful kid, shows boxing, shows he's more than just a brawler. He's like a boxer, puncher. He shows composure, but he's young. So going in against a veteran who's not going to be as slippery as a Mayweather, he's not going to give you as many looks. I don't think Cotto's going to give. He's not going to have the same type of fight as a Mayweather. Mayweather's going to use his legs in spots. He's going to do this and do that, frustrate you, and that kind of thing. I don't think Cotto is going to fight exactly like Mayweather, which makes this really intriguing. And Cotto has a new trainer, and he looked very sharp and determined in his last fight, from his physique to his game plan to the outcome of that fight. I think Cotto looked really focused. So this is really a dynamic fight. He could stay at the current weight, and it's a good pivotal point. I think in boxing, timing is everything. Timing, timing, timing. Brandon Rios, if you would have asked like a year ago, Brandon Rios versus Manny Pacquiao, I would tell you outright, I don't see Brandon Rios beating Pacquiao at all. However, timing is everything. After two back-to-back losses, maybe a less focused Pacquiao, his last fight was a knockout loss. Brandon Rios is getting big, outgrowing the lower divisions, 135, 140. He's big. He's improving. He's working on his craft and cutting off the ring and stuff like that. Now this fight is actually dynamic, and I think Brandon Rios does have a shot to beat Pacquiao. Unlike a year or two ago, I wouldn't have really gave Brandon Rios much of a shot, but after a brutal knockout to the point where you're knocked out completely, that changes a lot. We've seen it happen with Roy Jones Jr. Will Pacquiao be able to bounce back? We don't know. We will see at the end of the month. So timing is everything. Cotto, I wasn't really fancying the Canelo fight when he was still undefeated and Cotto had really got outboxed by Austin Trout. But Cotto has a new trainer. He looked focused. He looked aggressive. He looked like he was going to the body more like he did in his prime. Or I hate saying the word prime, but just back in the day when I used to watch Cotto fight. So this is a more dynamic. Plus, we don't know what the loss to Mayweather did to Canelo mentally. Maybe he doesn't feel as invincible. And when you're undefeated, it's easier to feel invincible because no one's giving you a loss. And up until the Mayweather fight, I never really seen anyone, trust me, I realized he had limited opponents. But there were a couple good names that possibly, even though they were probably past their prime, they could have given Canelo more of a test, like a Shane Mosley or Carlos Baldomir, possibly, even though they were older. But either way, I didn't really see many people, barring Miguel Cotto's brother, really just hurt Canelo to the point where it looked like it'd be a huge upset. Austin Trout looked good in spots, but it didn't look like he had the power to really face Canelo. He didn't really get embarrassed until he fought Mayweather based on the fights that he's fought. So, again, timing is everything. And if I had to pick, if you absolutely held me down and said Cotto Martinez or Cotto Canelo, at this point I would say Cotto Canelo. And I think it's more of a dynamic fight. It's going to be a bigger fight based on the fact that Canelo is a huge rock star. Cotto is a huge rock star. Sergio Martinez is popular, but not as popular. He's not as well known. He doesn't have the same following. He's had to kind of work the hard way. And that fight, matchup wise, could be one of two things. It could be Cotto looks good, or it could be maybe even a blowout just because Sergio Martinez is used to fighting bigger guys like Chavez Jr. He's a southpaw, he's crafty, he's slick, so he might even embarrass Cotto. I don't know. He might be too big for him. But more dynamic of a fight is Canelo Cotto at this particular point. Let me know if you agree, if you disagree. Do you want to see Martinez versus Cotto more? Do you not want to see either of those fights? I think they're both great fights, but again, if I had to absolutely pick. I would say Cotto, Canelo, 2014 early. Make it happen. Let me know what you guys pick. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.